Good morning, dear students. First of all, we welcome you to class 12. You are aware that right now lockdown is going on throughout the country till 14th of April. So we have planned online classes for you in all the 4 subjects, that is physics, chemistry, maths and biology, through the Unison Institute YouTube, and that is to cover your syllabus from 6th of April, so that your coverage of syllabus is not affected during this lockdown period. Now we have prepared a well-typed note of the chapter wise and topic wise and subtopic wise of each subchapter of each subject, and then we are also providing you these online notes to you which you can go through, and we are also providing you the video right now which is being recorded, so that you can go through the lecture. And then in the evening time 4 to 7 there will be regular classes as we were doing earlier, and in these regular classes you will be interacting with the teachers, online interaction, to discuss the things which you have learned through the video and through the notes. And finally you will be given also subjective wise questions and objective questions for your preparation. Now we are starting with the first chapter of the biology class 12 syllabus, and that is reproduction in organism. This is the first chapter, and the reproduction in organism deals with, this chapter deals with in general about reproduction in both plants and animals. And then in second chapter you will study about the reproduction in plants, that is flowering plants, angiosperms, and in third chapter you will study about reproduction in human being, that is animal, the best developed one. So we will first discuss about what is reproduction. You are aware that reproduction is a biological process of all the living organisms in which they produce the living organism like themselves, which are known as offsprings. Now, is this reproduction required for that living organism? No, it is not required for that living organism, like digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, etc. But it is required to have the next generation. So because you know that for each species there is an average lifespan which has been calculated with the minimum lifespan and the maximum lifespan, and the minimum lifespan of a mayfly is of 1 day, and the maximum is that of a sequoia tree, that varies from 3000 to 3500 years. That is 3000 is the minimum and 3500 years is the maximum. Now you know that each and every species has got a average lifespan. They will die after that. So reproduction is important for the perpetuation of species. After one generation dies, the next generation takes over, and then the species continues throughout the time period. Now we come to types of reproduction. There are 2 types of reproduction you know about, asexual and sexual. Now, what are the characteristics of asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction? We will deal with not only the characters of sexual and asexual reproduction, but also the differences between them through the tabular form. For example, asexual reproduction, number 1, only single parent is involved. In sexual reproduction, there are two parents involved, one is male, other is female. Even in bisexual animal, there is a single animal or plant, but both male and female reproductive organs are present in the single animal or plant. Like we see in case of earthworm, leech in animals, and most of the angiosperms, the flowers are bisexual. Second is no gamete is formed in asexual reproduction, whereas gamete formation takes place in the sexual reproduction, and this is both male and female gametes are formed. Likewise, if gametes are formed, then it will lead to fertilization. So, because in asexual reproduction there is no gamete formation, so there is no fertilization. But in case of sexual reproduction, because male and female gametes are formed, so there is fertilization. And fertilization, then after fertilization, zygote is formed, zygote develops into embryo, and embryo develops into young one, that is the offspring. In case of asexual reproduction, clones are formed. We will discuss after this differences between sexual and asexual reproduction. What are clones? In case of sexual reproduction, offspring show variation from parents, so they do not produce clones. Now, fifth point is that asexual reproduction is faster and simple process, whereas sexual reproduction is slower and a complex process. Then we come to what is clone. Clone are offsprings which are morphologically and genetically similar to parents. Clones are produced only by asexual reproduction and not by sexual reproduction. Now we come to types of asexual reproduction. There are 5 types of asexual reproduction, and one more is there, that is the 6th type, fragmentation, and one more is there, that is the that is also a type of asexual reproduction which is known as vegetative reproduction. So altogether there are 7 types of asexual reproduction. The first type is binary fission. The binary fission is the one in which the mitosis takes place, and it takes place in the unicellular organisms like monerans and protistans during the favorable conditions. That's why a question is asked that you state in which kind of organism the reproduction is similar to mitosis or cell division. So that is in case of monerans and protistans. Next one is the multiple fission. Multiple fission also takes place by mitosis, similar to binary fission, but it takes place in the unfavorable condition, and during multiple fission first incestation will take place and then there will be sporulation. This takes place in case of amoeba. The third type is known as budding. In case of budding, an outgrowth is formed on the body of the organism due to unequal cell division mitosis, and it takes place in yeast and hydra. Fourth type is the formation of spores. There are different types of spores like zoospores, aplanospores and chlamydospores. Zoospores are the spores which are motile because they have the flagella. Aplanospores are the spores which are immotile because they lack flagella. Chlamydospores are the spores which are formed during unfavorable condition because they have a thick wall around them. That thick wall protects them from the unfavorable conditions. Now the fifth type is regeneration, and you are well aware that the best regeneration is shown by planaria. In case of regeneration, if the body is cut into pieces, then each piece can develop into a new organism, whole new organism, and of course of a small size, which can grow later on to the full size. Even in case of some reptiles, like in wall lizards, you have seen that they cut off their tail to protect themselves from their enemies. So that is also a type of regeneration. Next one is fragmentation, the sixth type of asexual reproduction, which takes place in the plants or even fungi, that is green plants and non-green plants like Spirogera, Eulotherix, and also the fungi example is the Rhizopus, where we see that their thallus is divided into fragments, and each fragments can develop into a new organism. So we have discussed these 6 types of the asexual reproduction with you, and there is another major type of asexual reproduction which is known as vegetative reproduction, which we will discuss after this session. Thank you.